All right, we're gonna start with the enhanced duo. I've had this paddle for a couple of months now, and really enjoy the paddle and how it plays. The feel comes off of it. It's a full foam paddle, but I can now really see the Gen 3 feel that it's advertising. It's not fully Gen 3. There is some denseness to it, and still has, but it's a mixture. It's the closest thing you'll have a full foam paddle that feels similar to a Gen 3 sound, Gen 3, feedback. And so I'm gonna walk us through what I'm feeling with this one so I can compare to the other paddles. Yeah. Very easy in the hand right now. Soft and there's a bit of plushness, meaning I can pocket the ball a little bit. I feel like when the ball is on the paddle face before I return it. Therefore, I think directing feels much easier than the Perseus that I'm used to. You still hear that cracking noise that's typical of a Gen 3. The weight of this paddle also feels very light and elongated. I know some people mention a head heaviness, and maybe compared to a lot of paddles, there is some head heaviness to it. But I came from a Perseus Pro 4, a Bantam TKOC, and yet I feel this one is much lighter, much more balanced, out of the box even. You can go back and watch my first initial impression of it when I first got the paddle. I did weight it up. I put, half a gram of weight here. 2 grams maybe, about 2 grams. This should be half and 2. Initially I had them connected, but I didn't really enjoy that feel as much as I enjoyed this setup. And it's maybe unique to me because now all my paddles seem to have this smaller floor weight and then some perimeter weight. I also have Hexacore and a 9 gram coin cap here to help offset some of the head heaviness balance. And as shown, definitely easier to handle than the Perseus right now. The Perseus is worn. I think the grit is gone. But at the same time, I feel that the power is within my control, so that really helps me with placement, and that shows up in games that I play. I think I got about 10 hours on this right now. You'll begin seeing some of the scuffing, typical wear and tear on the face. I think some of the grit is wearing off on one side more than the other, but overall it still generates a lot of spin. It has that grab effect, it has that pocketing effect of a paddle, and this is probably one of my favorite flat top elongated shape out there, and so inexpensive. If you're thinking of buying this, it's currently on February 3rd on sale at $175, and you can throw on my discount code CHUNG to get another $20 off, so $155 still. But if you miss out that deal and you're watching this video a little later, let me know. I can probably hook you up with the $155 deal still. But really great paddle in terms of how it fits my style of not too powerful, trying to focus more on placement, and right out of the bat, even for a low-level person like me, easy to handle. All right, folks, time to reveal the paddle that is releasing, or at least the information will be releasing on February 12th. And, I am fortunate to get a early first look at the Enhanced Turbo. It's not released yet as of today, but as you can look at it, the moment I got this paddle and compared it to the Duo, I can both understand the quality that Enhance is going for. This feels like a very nice paddle, and the design, really well done. Hat tip to Tyler, who's been on the tear with designing different paddles. But as you can see, there's the flag, there's the waviness to it, and really getting a very NASCAR feel. This is the elongated EPP Turbo, They're gonna come out with an MPP version. We'll see if I can get my hands on one as well. But this is going to be the value paddle of the enhanced line, full foam. My understanding is the very current design of what the tried and true way of an EPP floating core and an EVA ring around it, so it gives you that power. But we'll see how it plays out of stock. I did not add any weight. I put an overgrip on it, and that's all I did to it. Just talking about it right now compared to the Duo, I will say the Duo's edge guard feels way more luxe, and this one feels, more on the market standard for what you expect from a paddle edge guard. I do point this out mainly because when you compare it to the other $99 after discount full foam paddles like the Rhombus Quanta and the V-Sole, the Rhombus for me felt very cheap. And that's not a knock on them. I'm pretty sure you need to have really affordable types of material to put it together and still stay to that price point, right? But Enhance was able to stay with an edge guard that reminds me of the 11624 series and power all cord Jelly Bean, which means really great edge guard quality. The face of this feels very similar to a fresh Yola Pro Force. It's not overly gritty. It's not smooth either. You can still feel some of the grittiness on it, but it's not the grit that people are all raving about. It's not the high-end grit. So we'll see how this works in power spin. I got the elongated because I do want to compare this to the elongated Duo that I have, but they will come out with all three shapes. So let's see how this plays. It's light in hand. First thing I noticed. It's lighter than the Duo for sure. I'm finding myself swinging a little bit further because of how probably need some weight now that I can feel it. The sound coming in is pretty nice. Very low thud sound. Very much the Gen 4 full foam, right? Unlike the Duo, which gives you more of that Gen 3, this is more so on the, I think it's comparable to the Matic V-Sole Pro, and very, very nice low bass sound. Okay, wow, let's talk about it. Stock, playable. Unlike the Rhombus Quanta that everyone's talking about, stock is very playable. I felt it was super light for a elongated paddle. Probably more reminds me of a little bit of the 11624 series where it's more balanced of a paddle than it is head heavy. The swing, I don't know if you can see it in the video. A couple of times I actually hit the back, and when I swing forward, it goes a little bit forward, which tells me that this really goes fast in hand for me to go forward. Typically from more head-heavy type of paddles like the Yola, like even the Duo, I like that weightiness to help me stabilize, but this one comes in so light, I think I can play around with weight, and we'll have another video set up for that to see how it plays weighted. But power is there, control is there. It feels like a complete paddle right out of the box, and you don't really need to have too much customization to it. I didn't even show you how cool it is. Not all paddles have this like emblem there. I never take this for granted now. Makes it feel very nice. This is a fast in hand paddle that's not lacking in power and maneuverability. I'm gonna be very surprised if I do ever get to try out the other shapes, but the handle feels like a 5.5, very similar to a Perseus, which I'll compare. The length, more or less the same. The shape matches 1-to-1. Yeah, this is not the most exact, but it's going to be familiar for anyone who enjoys the typical elongated shape with the 5.5 handle, 5.5 handle. Playability, again, not the most powerful, which is to be expected, but enough. And I think when it comes to enhance, one of the things I really did enjoy about this paddle is the power isn't felt like a kaboom, right? Like the Yola, the Bantam, the logo feels very powerful. The boomstick, hollow, very powerful, and you're smashing it down. Enhance seems to continually remind me of precision power, where it's thinking of like a laser, and you just hit it off, and it feels like it's going straight. The ball is heading out straight, and could be just me, could be this worn out ball, but I would definitely say very much in contention with a VSOL, very much in contention with a weighted up Quanta. We'll do some more testing. We'll do some more, forehand maybe. All right, let us do some forehand testing with this. So from this distance, garage to the back end, I think it'll be more reminiscent of a kitchen smash down when balls are popped up. So we'll see. We'll see what it feels like. It's easy to swing in hand because of how light it feels. Very, very full feel to the paddle when you hit. The vibration is very uniform, very even in my opinion. So I can sense a good amount of power. I wouldn't say the most powerful paddle I've ever played with, but I'm also not struggling to get to the max swing where some paddles feel like you have to put in a lot more effort to get the best amount of power. Yeah, as you can tell, I don't know what you observed. Leave it down in a comment what you saw, but for me, this feels like a complete paddle in a sense that the feedback is not inconsistent anytime I hit. When I hit off center, which I think there are a couple of times I did hit off center, you'll feel it. You'll get punished for hitting off center. Very typical for elongated. But you still have that reach. You still can come down hard on it. And for sure, it's, as I mentioned, not the most powerful paddle. And yet, I wouldn't say call it weak. All port? Possibly. Possibly. I think it does give me that same type of power, unweighted, again, remember this is unweighted, that I would get from a Vapor Power, Horace Alpha Pro Power. I would say it leans more that way. The feel, it does not have a fiberglass, I don't think. I don't feel like it's anything popping out like crazy. So let us compare that to the Duo again, forehand. And what I notice would be the difference. This is a weighted Duo. So already the swing is heavy. I got a very heavy paddle, but I don't mind because I really enjoy how it swings. So the reaction of the Duo seems to be much more lively than the Turbo. More satisfying crack sound of the Duo. And power of the Duo is instantly noticeable. Fairly accuracy is about the same, I would say. When you hit it off center, you'll feel it, especially on the edges, and then on the lower side, which, you know, being a noob, sometimes still hit those. But compared to the turbo more denser in the sense that there's a fullness to it. It does remind me of the Loco in terms of feedback in hand, right? The sound coming off also reminiscent of the Loco. It's definitely not stiff, nor is it super hollow. The VSOL is, I would say, the VSOL Pro felt much more hollower and even sound hollower, even though it has that same EPP design. I'm trying to use terminology. I hope you have enthusiasm of it. Overall, I'm just trying to review how it plays, how it feels in hand, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Other comparison between these two. Again, I want to test this one with more weight, weight it up. I don't think it'll reach the same amount of power that this Duo has. Spin-wise, I don't think I've noticed anything good or bad, which, you know, tells you that they are up to standard for most people, and you'll be able to play it and feel right at home just picking this up. Again, this feels very, very fast. Maybe that's what they're playing off with the turbo. This is really quick in hand for this line of paddle. We'll see. The one thing I will say probably would have been if this came out before all the rage with what Quanta is doing, what VSOL was doing. This would probably around the $120, $125, $130 even. I would have paid for this one. Reminiscent of the power, the 11624 power, maybe. We'll give that a go. We'll test out the Horace X power right now and see how it compares to the turbo. Horace has a much longer force, which you can feel a lot of width. Okay. Instantly, what I noticed, this is an unweighted Horace. I took out all the weights and only has an overgrip. This one has a louder, sharper, crack sound, a crisper feel to it. Satisfying, honestly, when you're not used to foam. But the power of the turbo is higher than the Horace X. When we go back to the conversation, precision versus explosive power, I feel much more explosive power with the Horace X, which is normal. This is what I'm used to when I first started trying out all these paddles. So, all right, right off the bat, the difference is noticeable. The Horace X, stiff, crisp, right? Has that like cracking sound that a lot of people do enjoy when they were playing with the Gen 3. Longer handle might help with a little bit with the swing, but even so, on a, you know, kind of like kitchen distance type of smashes, the turbo felt much more powerful. So this could be on the low end of power more than anything, whereas this one nowadays is on the all-court scale now. It's fallen into really barely bordering power, and that's not a bad thing. I think, you know, it's still really, really something that I default back to. But this one is very, very, very. I'm gonna keep coming back to the word, right? Balance and complete type of paddle. Does need weight. Does need weight. Okay. So let's compare it to the Yola. This one has perimeter weighting, 3 grams on the 3 and 9, and 3 grams on the throat handle. This helps me stabilize the paddle, but I would have to say it's close to a year now. I didn't play with this a lot, maybe on and off. My wife played with it. I also put a coin on the butt. So compared to a fresh Perseus 14 millimeter, this one has become duller. This one has become more denser and less powerful than before. But yet, and yes, it's smooth. It's really smooth. I'm pretty sure the spin is like gone. Yeah, sometimes when I play with it, I feel like, you know, the paddle resets very well and head heavy for sure. Compared to all of them, this definitely head heavier, even without the weight. I promise you, even without the perimeter weight. Louder, crisp, and stiff. Not like 100% stiff. I'm gonna show you next time. The 100% stiff, I would say, is the 14 millimeter C45. But this one is definitely on the higher end or medium end power. It's still very powerful, despite almost dying this paddle. The sound might contribute a lot to that too. Hey, machine abuse. Okay. Clear difference between the Turtle and Perseus. 14 millimeter, so this is different. This is 16. Still feels it generates a lot more power on the swings. Being that it's heavier, I think contributes a lot to that. So yeah, this one's not going anywhere in terms of being viable in today's pickleball. So we're gonna work on some spin in a bit, and let's have some fun then.